Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. This is night 3, you guys, of the Speak Your Spouse's Language Challenge. This is a 5-day challenge where I teach you about the 5 love languages. And if your partner, your spouse, has this preferred love language, I give you ways to communicate, things to avoid, and I give you gift ideas. I am so excited that you would join me again. So come on, let's get into it. Welcome to another episode of The Fruitful Wife. All right, so I know that you guys are wondering, Brittany, why are we doing a premiere and not live? I know you guys, but Married at First Sight, season 12, episode 4 is on at this moment. So I'm in the comments chatting with you guys as you watch the video, as you watch my video. So we are interacting there, and I would love to give you some tips and answer your questions in the chat. Yes, right now there is a live chat taking place, and I want to talk to you. So go ahead and start typing. So today's love language that we are going to talk about is physical touch. Day 1, we talked about quality time. Day 2, we talked about acts of service. And day 3, we talked about, or we are going to talk about, physical touch. And this is a very misunderstood love language, because when you think of physical touch, those of you whose minds are in the gutter, no, I'm kidding. You know, the first thing that comes to mind for most people is intercourse, right? But physical touch as a love language is so much deeper, so much bigger, and so much greater than physical intercourse. So before we get in, if you are not subscribed to this channel, I would love for you to join the Fruitful family tree. What are you waiting for? Come on, be a part of the family, and go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Turn on the notification bell. On this channel, I am your marriage cheerleader, and you will find all things marriage on this channel, okay? And that includes TV show reviews about what? You guessed it, marriage. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, I would love for you to join our family. We have a great community here, and I absolutely love those who are a part of my Fruitful family tree. Now, if you really want to take it a step further, the Fruitful Wife channel offers memberships. You can buy a monthly membership with the Fruitful Wife that gives you access to behind the scene videos, extra content, prayer sessions, deeper teaching series right now in our private membership group, which you get an invite to once you buy your membership. We are correlating these 5 love languages to the 5-fold ministry gifts. And I am so excited because tonight in the group, we will be talking about how physical touch correlates to the 5-fold ministry gift of pastor. I will be explaining the roles, the characteristics, and the giftings and graces of a pastor. And we also took a really cool 5-fold ministry test quiz, and people were sharing their results of what the quiz says that their top 2 5-fold ministry gifts are. It is so cool. You don't want to miss it. So what are you waiting for? A membership isn't going to take much out of your budget. Go ahead and purchase one because we add a lot of value to your life, myself as well as the Fruitful Wife team. Okay. So enough of that. Let's get into physical touch. Let's talk about what the love language of physical touch is. People with physical touch as their love language feel loved when they receive physical signs of affection, including kissing, holding hands, cuddling on the couch, and intercourse. Physical intimacy and touch can be incredibly affirming and serve as a powerful emotional connector for people with this love language. The roots go back to our childhood. Some people only felt deep affection and love by their parents when they were being held, kissed, or touched. People who communicate their appreciation through this language when they consent to it, come on, somebody, feel appreciated when they are hugged, kissed, or cuddled. They value the feeling of warmth and comfort that comes with physical touch. So in a nutshell, that is what physical touch is. And if you are someone whose primary or preferred love language is physical touch, then it is absolutely important for you to receive that closeness, whether it's from a parent, a sibling, a friend. Have you ever met people who always want to hug, who feel comfortable when they stand next to you? See, physical touch is one of my lower end love languages. Now, let me just say this, just because it is on the lower percentage of your preferred love language doesn't mean you don't need it, period, right? So just because physical touch isn't my primary love language doesn't mean that if my husband and I go an extended period of time without being intimate, that isn't going to affect me. That's not what that means at all. It just means that it's not my top one. You guys know, we discussed it. My top is words of affirmation, which I'm excited to discuss that one tomorrow. Anyway, but back to physical touch. Everybody needs all of the 5 love languages in order to feel satiated, in order to feel satisfied. Everybody needs all 5. I mean, but some people have preferred languages, and physical touch, they're gonna want to be close to you. If you notice that people, seem like they don't know what personal space is, that's probably a good indicator that their love language is physical touch. Have you ever been in the presence of somebody and your top love language isn't physical touch, and they like get closer to you and you back up, and then they get closer to you and then you back up? I mean, well, now within a pandemic, those who thrive off of physical touch, I can't even imagine how they have felt during this time. I'm sure if you're not rooted and grounded in Christ, it could feel almost depressing not to be able to embrace people how you want to. Now, this is amazing to me. Did you know that, talking about the love language physical touch, that a baby develops what's the correct word? That babies can develop mental complications when they don't receive enough love strokes daily. That blew me away. It is so important for us to have physical touch and to embrace that if a child does not receive a certain amount of love strokes daily, that it can developmental complications within them. Do you know that there are actually professional baby lovers, professional baby holders, professional child huggers, because physical touch is so important and it is so crucial even in the development of a child, that children, babies, infants that have been abandoned, infants that have been left for adoption but haven't been adopted yet, who don't have a parent or a loved one to embrace them, they can develop complications because of that. The power of touch is absolutely incredible. And who would have thought that touch was so powerful? So I thought that that was very interesting. And, when I found that out, because I'm not a touchy-feely person, I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I have my bouts, but they're far and few between. Like, my mother, she wasn't really big on physical touch with me as a child. Like, yes, she hugged me and kissed me, but it did not seem like that was her favorite thing to do, right? So, I grew up doing the same thing. Physical touch is not big to me. And I have to consciously remember, okay, Brittany, hug your children. Okay, Brittany, kiss your children. Okay, hug and kiss your husband. You know what I'm saying? But really, physical touch for me, I have to put forth an effort. But touch is so powerful. It is so powerful. Okay, so let's continue on. So with physical touch, how to communicate. It says non-verbal. Use body language and touch to express love. Now, we don't have to get, sideways or in the gutter with this thing, right? Physical touch and showing that love could be a pat on the back. People who prefer physical touch, they love an attaboy, right? They love an attaboy. Or, when consoling, to put your hand on your back and rub it. Now, somebody like me, I can't stand that. Like, when people try and console me and they want to touch my back, it actually angers me, to be honest. The only person I really like for to like touch me and console me is my husband and my children. That's it. Like, people outside of my house, when they say, "Oh, Brittany, it's okay," and they begin to rub me, it bothers me. I think the only exception to that rule is maybe like my mama or my Gigi or something like that. Or maybe like when my pastors and my leadership team are praying for me and embracing me during that time, that's different. But just like, get your hand off me otherwise. No, that sounds crazy. But that's the complete opposite for those whose preferred language is physical touch. And so I'm literally, your words are not going to do it. Doing stuff for them is not going to do it. I was talking to my brother. His preferred love language is touch, right? And when we were talking about acts of service as a love language, he said that it was, on the bottom of his list, because his mentality is, I can do it myself. I can get it done myself, right? So, acts of service isn't going to move him, right? It's, what needs to happen is, a hey or a hug, a holy hug, or if your spouse, it's still holy, but you know, you could take that holiness to another level if you're married. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Can the church say amen? Come on. Let's see. Let's learn more about the physical touch. It says actions to take: hug, kiss, hand holding. Yes. Show physical affection often. Make intimacy a thoughtful priority. Now, you know, what's interesting to me is if you guys ever watch Married at First Sight, season 11, there was a couple on there named Miles and Karen. And one thing that Miles always communicated was that he needed to hear words and he wanted to be touched. So, you know, not that I know for sure, but it seemed like by the way that he would express his needs, that his top language was touch and also words of affirmation, which is pretty awesome. So, and I think they, him and his wife, Karen, actually did a video talking about their love language, or mentioned it when they were doing Q&A or whatever. So yes, hand holding. And this is great with a child too. You know what I'm saying? You know, a child whose preferred language is physical touch, they're going to want you to hold them. And you know what? I honestly believe that Bliss's preferred love language is touch as well. If I were to guess, I would say that it's touch and receiving gifts. But I've been trying to get her to take the quiz with me so I can find out for sure. I think that my son, John, his love language is touch as well, which is crazy to me because touch is something very difficult for me and something that I don't think of just off the top of my head. So it's interesting how God is using my kids to develop that part of me, to learn how to give love the way a person prefers and not based on what I want. You know what I'm saying? I just, you know, that's so interesting to me, right? Okay, so let's get into things to avoid, right? Let's get into things to avoid. When it comes to physical touch, things you want to avoid is physical neglect, right? Physical neglect is something that you definitely want to avoid. You know, being cold to the touch. Have you ever had somebody who said, "Oh, give me a hug," and you're like, "Okay." I mean, someone whose language is touch, they are really, you know who else? My pastor, Vanessa. I believe that her top language may be touch, and maybe even, let me see. I don't know. I think touch is one of her top ones, and maybe acts of service. Maybe quality time. I don't know. Touch and quality time. But she's another person that I believe touch is a top love language. My pastor and first lady, Pastor Linda Collier, I believe that her love language, one of her top ones, is touch as well. I think that is touch as well. I believe that. I believe that. So, but things, I'm back to touch. Things to avoid. Long stints without intimacy. Long stints. So if you are married, then if your preferred language, if your spouse's preferred language is touch, then you need to be coming together in the bedroom often. And you know what? Honestly, you know, people, they want to complain about having a intimacy schedule. I don't see anything wrong with it, because a lot of times if we leave things up to chance, the cares of life will kind of take over, and next thing you know, you've went too much time without it. And I think if your preferred language is not physical touch but your spouse's is, there is nothing wrong with setting up an intimacy schedule. That way you can go ahead and plan it. You can go ahead and get your mind right. You can get your body right. You can get in the right mind frame and attitude, so you can come together in a way that truly shows them how much you love them, right? So I don't think that there's anything wrong with an intimacy schedule. Comment down below your thoughts on an intimacy schedule. I don't see anything wrong with that at all, right? Right. Okay. So let's talk about, let's see. If your preferred love language is touch, you look forward to hugs, cuddles, and kissing. Nothing beats tactical physical intimacy. You feel grounded in a relationship when physical affection is accessible and often cultivated. Holding hands, long embraces, and kisses are common and welcome occurrences. You are game for public displays of affection. See, I can't. It helps you feel wanted and desired. Let me tell you something. Woo. That's hard for me. That's hard. PDA. Woo. But if your partner's preferred language is touch, then of course, if you're really uncomfortable, maybe y'all can set up some boundaries and really talk about it. See, a lot of people don't want to talk about things. They want to go along to get along, and then things end up, seeding bitterness and this. Let's just talk about it. Okay, when we out, I'm down for the hand holding. I'm down for the hugging. I'm down for a peck on the cheek, but please don't rub me down in public. You know what I'm saying? And it's important that if you want your spouse to give you your preferred language, even if it's difficult for them, then come on, you got to step up to the plate as well. It says if your partner is sitting next to you, you would rather sit side to side and cuddle up. The closer, the better. If they are nearby, it's almost automatic. You reach out to them to touch their leg, play with their hair, or give them a back rub. And intercourse makes you feel loved and closer to your partner. Okay? So let's talk about dating when it comes to touch. Tender caresses and physical affection are everything. This love language is refreshingly straightforward, easy to satisfy, and doesn't involve a lot of planning, exertion, or money. Come on. It's as easy as reaching out for connection by squeezing their arm while you're watching a movie, or tapping their bottom if it's your spouse when you walk by them. Simple. All right, I'm gonna need for you not to be patting folk on the bottom if they ain't your spouse. Please and thank you. Please and thank you. Right? That is hilarious. Okay, so let's get into gifts for those who are physical touch, because we know that Valentine's Day is coming up. But those of us who don't really get into Valentine's Day, like myself, this is great for anniversaries. This is great for date night. This is great for just because. And I'm gonna come out the gate with coupons. Coupons. Kiss this, rub that, touch that, massage this, grab that. If you're married. This is great for physical touch, those little coupons, which is crazy because one time I decided that I was going to get Mike a book of the coupons, and I was like, oh, that's so cute. Mike's on the physical touches on the bottom for Mike as well. We never used the coupons. Them coupons stayed in the dresser till we threw them in the trash because we were moving. Bath bombs. Bath bombs can be a sensory explosion for the person who loves relaxing in a bath. Add moisturizer that leaves the skin feeling soft, and you've got yourself the perfect gift. Now, listen to this, y'all. This is interesting. It says a sticky memo ball. Consider giving a sticky memo ball to your loved one. After opening, take turns writing your favorite expressions of touches on each sticky note. Then play a game, rolling the memo ball and doing whatever suggestion lands on top. Peel that one and add another. Play until your love tanks are full. Very cool. Now look at this. This is mail a hug. Mail a hug. And I think that that's great during this time pandemic when hugging is pretty much frowned upon by the public. It says, is there a distance between you and someone you love? Give a hug that can be felt from miles away. And it's literally a box with hands attached like this. And I guess you wrap it around yourself. And it has a card that says to and from. I love that. Oh, look at this. This is great for acts of service too, which we covered yesterday. A foot mask. Come on. Commit to apply it whenever the time is right. Oh, I would love this. It's a personalized blanket. Who wouldn't want a personalized throw blanket for snuggling on the couch together? You know what? That's cool. You know what? My good friend, and she's also the baby mama to two of my god babies. She sent me the most amazing blanket. It's so soft and it's purple and it's cuddly, and I appreciate her so much. Dance lessons. See, I would love that. I love to dance, you guys. Dancing lessons can be a particularly meaningful gift for a loved one with the love language of physical touch. There are many styles to choose one. Pick one and surprise your partner. Love that. A cooking class. Yep, because you're in the kitchen, touching, scooting by each other. And then I like this, now and laters. Have y'all know the candy now and laters? It says, get a little physical with your spouse playing this sweet game. Pick a few packs of individually wrapped now and laters. Stash them around the house for your spouse to find. Instruct them that every time they find one, let you know. When they do, they get a 60-second hug or kiss now and 60 seconds towards a massage or other agreed upon activity later when they cash in their candy. Now, see, that's something that I would do because I would want the candy. I would want the candy. All right, guys. So that is physical touch. I hope you guys learned a lot about this love language. Comment down below if physical touch is your preferred love language. Comment down below what gifts you would like to receive because of that. Or if you know someone like your spouse or your child whose love language is physical touch, tell me, what do you do to show them true and authentic love through their love language? I think that that's so cute. They can get a body massage. That is awesome. Now, you know what? I will say, I will add one more thing that is great. So I was watching this couple, Kadeem. Anyway, I don't remember their names. But they're like a popular couple or whatever on Instagram. So they were like, the guy took down her weave, took down her braids, scratched her scalp, and greased her scalp. Now, let me tell you something. If your love language is physical touch and you wear braids and stuff like that, honey, that is going to rock your world. Do you hear me? Isn't that something that is so interesting, honey? She was so incredibly grateful because her husband took down her braids, scratched her scalp, and greased it. And it's simple things like that. That's free, right? That's free. I think physical touch may be the cheapest the cheapest way to show love. Honestly, maybe there's free gifts with all of them. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me. Now, if you are in the membership, I am going to go live in the private Facebook group, and we're going to correlate physical touch with pastors, which is a part of the fivefold ministry gifts. Thank you so much for joining me. Make sure you not only hit the subscribe button, but go ahead and hit the join button so you can get your Fruitful Wife membership as well. So I can send you that link and you can come straight over to the group. All right, guys, I love you so much. And until next time, be fruitful and multiply. Bye-bye. And guess what? With physical touch, you can definitely be fruitful and multiply. Bye, y'all. Bye.